Hello friends, welcome to Yogic and Modern Science. Friends, today I'll be starting the third part of Shiv Sutra. The first sutra of the third part is about Atma. The sutra says Atma Chittam means the mind is Atma or the Chit is Atma. You must be wondering how can Lord Shiva say two different things about Atma. One is Atma Chittam, and you must be remembering the first sutra of first part. The first sutra says Chaitanya Mahatma, means Chaitanya or the pure consciousness is Atma. Now people will get confused if they take these two sutras together, and one sutra saying one thing, the other sutra saying another thing. But if we look a little deeper into the true understanding of what is real, what is unreal, etc., then we can understand, or one can understand, both the sutras very clearly, but in different context. The context is different in both the sutras. In the first sutra, in which Lord Shiva says the pure consciousness or pure Chaitanya is Atma, he is referring to the pure energy of consciousness. Because it is pure energy of consciousness which causes all the creativity, all the creation, the very existence of this whole universe. For this reason, the pure consciousness is Atma, or our original nature is pure consciousness. So in this context, the first sutra is correct. Now in the third part, the first sutra is Atma Chittam. Now Chit is the matter of prakriti. Chit means impression. Impression caused by the jeevatma on the prakriti with the help of the power of sound or the power of consciousness. Now, Chit is the matter of prakriti, which is the impression. And after the Chitta is formed, all the further developments take place in the prakriti. Now, how can the Chit, which is of course the Chit of the jeevatma in the prakriti, be Atma? Or how can soul be the Chit? Here context is different. Lord Shiva is referring to the echo of the primal sound of the pure energy of consciousness, which the Jivatma in the Prakriti gets for its further development. Without the energy of consciousness, Jivatma in the Prakriti is not able to do anything. Even it cannot be aware of its own existence. There is no awareness in the jeevatma until it comes in contact with the pure energy of consciousness, which is beyond the whole prakriti. So, in the energy of consciousness, what is involved? The Shabda Shakti, the Prakash, light, and its power. These three things are involved in the energy of consciousness. And Prakriti in itself has no sound, has no power. It has its own power, but it is very, very limited. It is so limited that it cannot create anything on its own. Now, the Jivatmas in the Prakriti take the energy of consciousness, which is beyond the Prakriti. And on account of this energy of consciousness, it gets the first impression of being itself. It gets the sense of its own existence. This is the first impression. This is the first chitta developed in the Jivatma. Now, in this context, Lord Shiva is saying, Atma is chittam or chitta, because that chit has been developed because of the energy of consciousness which is beyond the whole Prakriti. Since the energy of consciousness is the real cause, that is why in that context Lord Shiva is saying the chittam is Atma. So friends, context is different, but the thing is as it is. The reality is as clear as before, or in all the sutras of Shiv Sutra, everything is as it is, only the context changes. In what context Lord Shiva is saying, okay, will have to be understood. Otherwise, something which is there in the Prakriti always remain in the Prakriti. Which is there in the energy of consciousness, it is always there in the energy of consciousness. For example, sound energy, or sabad, okay, it is a matter of consciousness, not of the Prakriti. Okay, now second sutra, let's move to the second sutra of the third part. Second sutra is Jnanam Bandha. This sutra is also there in the first part as the second sutra. And in the third part also, the second sutra is Jnanam Bandham. I have already explained. However, I'll explain it in 2 or 3 lines. Any kind of experience, any kind of knowledge that we get binds us. In the sense, knowledge or experience is always limited. But the reality, the real thing, in which there are 3 principles. They don't know any sense of space, any sense of time. They don't even know the time, let alone the experience or knowledge. That is why they are unlimited, beyond any limitation. If that principle gets centered in the Prakriti, the unlimited principle, in imagination, in appearance only, then it becomes limited by the impression, by the experience, by the knowledge, by the chitta. So chitta is always limited, right? Because of its experience, because of its impressions in the Prakriti. So this sutra is also very clear that knowledge is bondage, knowledge always binds us. For this episode, that is all. In the next episode, I'll be taking next two sutras, and all the sutras in the Shiva Sutra has immense understanding, and understanding is not knowledge. If we can ever develop this kind of understanding, we can come face to face with life, with the reality of life. For today, that's all, my friends. Thank you.